Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the lesson. We're having a look at some more dominant 7th chords today. This is level 4 now, session 2 of the Complete Beginner's course. We're going to take a look at a G7, an E7, and a D7. Okay, so we talked about how the dominant 7th chords have a very kind of strong pull. They're very bluesy sounding. Obviously they're used in blues, and we talked a little bit about how they're built. So we said that we're going to relate all of these chords back to the major chord and just see that we've added a note in. So we let's start with the G and do just that. So we're going to start with the G that we looked at last time. So our G was first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your top string, your thinnest. Okay, and that was the G. Now we're going to take that. That's actually a G note there. We're going to take that down 2 frets and play it at 1st fret. Okay, so that will give us a bit more of a stretch. Okay, so instead of going like this, we're going to go like this. Now you've got a few options here. I tend to go 1st finger on the 1st fret of your high E string. Okay, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. That gives you your G7. Now that is quite a stretch for a lot of people. Unfortunately, we have to have that F in there. We've got a lot of open strings in there, but it is a stretch. So, you know, try practicing going from the G there and look at the movement. It's quite a movement. That G7 is a bit of a pain. I mean, there's some things we can do with bar chords as we go onwards, but really you got to try and get a hold of that G7 as is. See if you can get a hold of it. And see if you can make it work. It is a bit of a pain, I appreciate, but you know, there we go. It's worth it in the end. Anyway, next one, we're going to do the E7. E7's quite easy, relatively speaking. We go to our E major. So just to recap, our E major was middle finger on the 5th fret, 5th string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, and your 1st finger on the 3rd string 1st fret, okay? And that was all your strings. All you're going to do here is get rid of your 3rd finger, and we have the E7, alright? So that was our E7. So E major, E7. If you're feeling really adventurous, you can pop your, as well as that E7 that we've got there, so that's middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and just 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. You could put your little pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. It doubles up the D note that is, as we talked about before, the flat 7. So it's just a different sound. I know, I kind of like the harder chord there. Just an option. There's a lot of options as you learn more chords. There's ways of putting notes in and taking notes out and trying it out. It's worth trying to learn as many as you can, but without getting too confused, obviously, with all the kind of different terminologies and ways around. So we've got that one. The last one was the D, and that gives us 5 dominant 7th chords. So let's just recap the D chord really quickly. 1st finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of your high E string, your top string. And your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and you play 4 strings downwards. You don't hit your 6th or 5th. Now the note that's going to move for this D7 chord, we need to turn this D into a C. So we're going to drop it down to 1st fret on your 2nd string. So that will now give us middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger remains on the 2nd fret of your high E string, your 1st string. Okay, and again just 4 strings downwards, and that gives you your D7. Don't hit the 6th or the 5th. All right. So those are your 3 new dominant 7th chords. Again, all based on the major chords, and just seeing a way of sort of interchanging them and getting them working like that. Try and get them memorised, relate them to the major chords as best you can. Just try and sort of implement them in, and now sort of see it as what have we got now? 5 open chords, 3 minor chords, 8 plus another 5 dominant 7ths. So we're on 13 chords by my count. I think you should have down. So see if you can play them all. And it's good. And obviously we're learning them to put them into songs as well, which is great practice. And hopefully those fingers are getting a bit less sore. All right, I'll see you next time.